Hey folks, it's June, so time to do a garden tour. Let's head on down to the garden, see how things are looking for this month. So we harvested the peas a while back and they're pretty much done. But our beans are climbing up on this trellis. Pretty soon that should be full. Once again, the peas, I'll probably get those out today. We'll probably plant some dragon tongue beans, and I know they're kind of like a partial little runner, a half runner bean or something like that, and they'll climb up that pea trellis pretty good. This is our field peas, purple hull pink eye peas. We did them succession, so we're gonna get a batch here. We'll cook them up and eat them, and then we should get a batch over here. Carrots bed is crazy. We did dig down a little bit, rub around the stem, and they are forming. Even in this heat, they're doing seem to be doing fine. Potatoes are getting close. You can see a little dieback there on those varieties. They've kind of flattened out a little bit, so they're getting close. Still got one bloom on that one, so potatoes should be forming. We could probably dig around a little bit for some new potatoes if we wanted to, but we think since this is an experiment, we're going to let them keep going. Our determinate tomatoes, our Tachis up front here, looking good, and our red snappers in the back there, looking good. You can see, let's get down here where they are. You can see they got a mess of them on there already. Our red snappers right here, there's a clump of 3. Over here, I think there's just a single one on the bottom, and then got a couple more starting on the next flushing. Our peppers, we got them caged up, and there's been some blooms. Haven't really seen any peppers forming, but at least they're not dropping them. They are looking, really rough. I really want to say that in this compost there must be some herbicide. They're really curly up top. You can see those leaves right there. I don't think anybody's spraying in the area, and I know peppers are really susceptible to it. Could be drift. You can really see on this one all the curling on it. Yeah, maybe they'll grow out of it, maybe they won't. Maybe we'll get a crop, maybe we won't. We just kind of have to sit, wait and see. Rutabagas were starting to get ate up by some cabbage loopers, some little worms and whatnot. I got out here a few nights ago, sprayed out the area, but you can see the rutabaga behind that one is doing well. I think this one right here is looking pretty good. We'll be harvesting those here shortly. Yeah, y'all know sweet potatoes. Once they get going, they take off and just start running. So that bed's looking really well. Our squash, on the left is our butternut squash, on the right is our spaghetti squash. It's a jungle, and that's 4 plants growing up there, and that's it, and they are just taking that bed right on over. Have seen some of those squash beetles on them. You can see a little damage from them right there. Usually you can flip that over and catch them, squish them, do what you got to. I've only seen one squash bug, and Oh, well, looky here. What do you see? You see him? Yeah, he's going squish squish. Just a jungle of vines. Can't believe how many secondary runners they're putting off. It's crazy, crazy. We'll get them pulled up and hopefully on the trellis. If not, we'll let them just kind of sprawl around on the ground a little bit more. We're getting flowers on our cucumbers and they're starting to climb on up. Nice and green. Haven't seen any powdery mildew or downy mildew on them. Got our contender green beans in behind them. Hopefully the sun doesn't get them. Did let them dry out with that compost once or twice. It kind of shows on there, but they look like they're pulling through and they're sending up their other leaves, so we should be good on that. Asparagus bed is kind of in full frond right now. Just let that go. Wait till winter time, they turn brown. We'll cut them back down to the ground and wait to harvest again in hopefully around April next year. These are our cherry tomatoes. God, I haven't had enough coffee this morning, folks. You gotta excuse me. Let's tuck him back up underneath there. There we go. Lots of blooms. This is the atomic grape. Let me see if I could show you some on the bottom. Right here. So it's a grape tomato and has, I mean, some really weird colorings to it. There's another big flush in the back there behind that stem, if you can see. There we go. This is our Mountain Vineyard tomato. She's a little bit more open and it's got a very nice little flush right there. And then this is our Baxter cherry tomato. This is the one we grow every year. She puts on a lot of foliage. So we'll be hunting for cherry tomatoes in that, just looking for little peaks of red here and there. Our corn is getting on up there. I'd say off the bed, she's probably at about 4 foot. I do see a few of them starting to get their tassels. Good green color, just not quite the height I wanted. We'll see what happens with them. And of course, if the deer leave them alone this time. We did have some gnawing on this one. And I think there was another one over here earlier. Maybe not. Anyways, we'll see what happens with that. Our garlic. So our garlic didn't produce cloves. I guess they didn't have enough, what is that, stratification. This is our elephant garlic. So basically it's just the one big clove is all we got off of it. And these are the, what are those called? Scorms on the sides. They're just little, I guess they're like garlic seed. I don't know. We'll try again next year. Our other garlic, again, I don't think it produced enough cold weather to do what it was supposed to do, to break down into cloves. We just basically got one big clove out of it. So that was a bust. We'll try again next year. Our onions looking pretty decent. We've got one or two that are kind of trying to flop over. They're still bulbing. I think this one over here has flopped over the stem. So we'll be harvesting that here shortly. Maybe cook it for dinner, maybe do some hibachi with the zucchini and onion. And then our tomato trellis bed, they're looking pretty good. Got them tied up 3 times now and getting close to maybe getting tied up one more time. Our, what are these, Salvador Select, they're not looking good. They're not looking good at all. I don't know if that's curly leaf virus or not. I don't know. I don't know enough about them to figure it out, but it's weird. It's only the Salvador Select that are looking horrible. Most of the other ones are looking pretty good. Putting on some tomatoes on the bottom. You have one Roma style there, paste. Here's a couple small ones, I think from the Salvador Select, but again, you can follow that up there and look at the top, and that top just looks horrible. Yeah. I don't know. Learn, and try to improve next year. I think the in-ground garden is, well, a lot of these cold crops are just about gone. Our broccoli is coming back out. Well, that's a collard, I believe, and it got chewed up. Our cabbages, our red cabbages, got pretty ate up. That kale right there got pretty ate up. We got other broccoli sitting here. Don't know if we're gonna get them to harvest or not before the sun hits. Again, more broccoli. Some red Russian kale. Some more red cabbages. Some curly kale. And then the mustard has gone to bolt. So we'll be pulling that out. So you can tell the squash are going crazy. I think we're gonna get a few harvested today. Too late.
Oh, what you got there?
It's a baby leg. Yeah, one day too late. Y'all folks know.
Wow.
Y'all know how that happens, right? You walk through at night or something. We'll let that go, and in the morning, it's just huge.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll let that one go one more day.
All right.
So looking pretty good. So our pumpkins have started to put on flowers. They're not quite running yet. They look like they're doing really good. Those flowers are huge, so beautiful. Our gourds started running. You can see some of the vines here. And of course they're putting on their flowers. These look to be, I think those are the Little Jack pumpkins. Those are those oblong looking gourds. Let's see if we can get a zoom in. There we go. Let's see what other ones might be hiding in here. I'm not sure what kind that is. Yeah. Yep. They're starting to put on the runners, so I'm really happy with that. Of course, the weeds, yeah. Next year, right? It's always next year. Watermelons really aren't doing much. Yeah, that one's got a good set of runners on it. Haven't seen any flowers yet. That one's got a pretty decent runner. Oh, there's a couple of flowers trying to pop out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the weeding issue has probably stunted them quite a bit.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Tune in, we'll be doing more projects and keeping you up to date on the garden and all that. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time.